to be helping you.
This isn't the movie Glass.
No. You asked
For a movie called Sass.
Sass?
Oh, yeah? Just look at it.
Yeah, I get.
This is only the beginning.
What do we call you, sir?
It's Mr. Sass, motherfucker. Damn!
This is better!
Much better!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Tony. I want to play a game. For a year now, you and Hannah have ran Watchin movies. But we tested to its fully potential this year. Nothing will stop my wrath. In order for you to escape this room that you're in right now, you're going to have to pull the all-eye scan. I see everything. Oh, I'm clever. But anyway, you're going to have to do the eye scan and try to get out of this room alive. See you in a little bit. Live or die. Make your choice.
Hey Tony, wake up! It's time to do our reviews.
It's only a matter of time now.
Don't suspect nothing.
12 seconds later.
Hey guys, welcome to this triple review. We are doing it as a triple because we're late on a few movies, and why not put it all as one? And we're going to start off with Glass. Tony, you coming?
Yeah.
You alright?
Okay. Let's talk about Glass.
Alright. So Glass is the third movie in the superhero trilogy that is M. Night Shyamalan's creation that he made. Started with Unbreakable 19 years ago, and now he came back last year or 2 years ago with Split, which was a fantastic movie. And yeah, no one. It was great because nobody knew that it was gonna be a Split or a Unbreakable sequel until the very end, which was the twist, which was great. And now we're here at the conclusion of these two movies, and I really, really had a good time with this movie.
I thought this movie was actually pretty good myself. I had no problems with it. I don't get it. I don't get sorry. I don't get the these are the only yellow pants I had.
Yep.
Could find, by the way.
But yeah, there's not a really big market for yellow sweatpants.
Don't judge me. Anyway.
No one's judging.
When I went into this movie, I was expecting some sort of conclusion that was not going to make much sense, or was going to make things more confusing from the first two, and just really mess everything up that was being set up. But I thought everything was executed fine, pretty simple if you actually think about it. And what I mean by that is that it played all its cards right from what you were expecting from the first two.
I think this wrapped up the story really nicely.
People are having problems with it right now, though. They're literally split.
Yeah.
And it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't get it. I think this ties.
I would address that.
Yeah, I think this ties up the everyone's story in a good way, and I think everybody had just enough screen time for it to feel like everybody got enough spotlight.
I just feel like a lot of the reviews are. I'm going back to the reviews right now because I'm thinking this movie did its job, and even though a lot of the criticism is going towards the end, it's. I don't think it's a Shyamalan film.
Yeah.
I mean, they're gonna poke at the end because we were expecting a twist and stuff. This movie really did play itself out like a superhero film.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what people are complaining about. They're just like, well, they went into that realm, but that's kind of what I was already expecting. I kind of was expecting a showdown.
Yeah, isn't that the point of this movie?
That's what I was thinking too. This is the conclusion to this trilogy, and it gave it to us. And even though it's not the ending you were expecting or wanting, it's an ending that's it's really, you just have to accept it. It's almost, for me, we might spoil. We're gonna warn you if we do. But it's, for me, it's kind of like an ending, kind of like Titanic. You know what happened in Titanic? Leonardo DiCaprio dies at the end, and Rose lives on, and it's pretty sad.
Jack!
But it's a pretty good. I'm not comparing it to a Titanic ending, but
Yeah, no.
it's almost like you either accept it or you don't.
Yeah.
I'll never let go. I promise.
I think it's still, but it makes for a strong ending, and I think the ending here for me was strong.
Yeah.
Dark, but strong. It's
Yeah.
a dark ending, but it's not bad.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, yeah, it sucks that it ended in the way that it did in a certain part, but it became justified in another way. I don't think Shyamalan it in this movie. Like,
Right, and I think maybe people were expecting maybe something a little more subtle, like Unbreakable, but it did have its subtle moments and stuff. But here we're being introduced to the concept of, well, are you actually who you think you are? Because once they get put in the psych ward and stuff, because they do fight, they get captured, and they get locked in the psych ward with Mr. Glass, but they're being questioned by Sarah Paulson's character, the psychiatrist. You know, are you these heroes that you think, or not? They call them heroes here, but it's more like, do you have these abilities that you think you have? Are you super strong? Can you sense other people's wrongdoings? And it's questioned, and everybody, even the characters, other characters from other movies, are kind of like, okay, is this real? Like the son is back in this, the actual son from Unbreakables and this and stuff. That was cool. His acting's not the greatest.
I don't think he grew up to be an actor, but I think he came back for this
series. But his
series.
presence is appreciated here, and he's also questioning, like, did my dad, lift those weights when I put the paint buckets on there? Did he have the super strength I thought he had, or is he just like a regular strongman?
Yeah.
And that's question here.
There's moments even when I was like, ooh, she's got a point. Could it be this? And it does fool the audience sometimes into thinking, oh, maybe they're not these super people. But then Samuel L. Jackson's character, he comes in as like, he's like the devil's advocate. He's like, it can be explained away, but here we are. We're still here.
Right, and I think Samuel L. Jackson did a great job too when he came in and stuff. He was kind of just in the chair, not really talking at first, because that's what the psych ward had done to him and stuff since the events of Unbreakable.
Sedated him, yeah.
I think everybody did a fantastic job. It all really wants to lead up to that ending, and I mean, as much as it's regular, because it's really not doing anything fantastic, like there's no flying or anything, there's no beams of light, they're just two people just fighting the beast,
Yeah.
He gets mad, he gets strong.
It's more realistic.
Right, it's more realistic. There are some POV shots, like the kind of like GoPro looking shots and stuff like that when Bruce Willis and McAvoy are fighting and stuff, but it's forgivable because you're like, okay, you want this to happen so much.
Yeah, there is a lot of POV shots.
Later on, you're going to see them and be like, okay, whatever. So that's maybe a bit of a... I would say this movie had more nitpicks for me and stuff. The ending, I guess, is, like I said, really you have to either accept it or you don't. Let's go into spoilers. Okay. We're going to go into spoilers here. Warning, if you don't want to get spoiled and stuff for Glass. The thing is that Sarah Paulson's character is a bad guy. She is a part of an organization that wants to keep superheroes down.
I specialize in those individuals who believe they are superheroes. I've developed an effective treatment for this disorder. Not meant to have this much power.
And that's why they're captured and just, really messed with psychologically and things like that, just because they want to, keep heroes away from the public eye, from the real world. And Samuel Jackson's character, even though he's in this state, he goes through it, and it's so amazing. I think the ending is awesome. They do kill off David Dunn, and he's tricked, and he's used again, just like he was in Unbreakable, but I do believe that it was actually necessary for this story. Because it's almost like a Watchmen ending where, Rorschach, had all this information, and he was going to expose it to the public, and then he was killed, and then it was exposed later that his journal was had all the information of what happened with Adrian and everything, if you've read Watchmen and stuff. So I think it was a very dark Watchmen-y kind of ending.
Yeah. Yeah, I kind of, at first when the secret organization was revealed, I was like, ugh, that's kind of cheesy. But the more I thought about it, the more it made sense, because
that's probably what people's problem is.
Yeah, because there was a line Sarah Paulson said, but she was like, we're trying to convince them that they're not a super being person. It's just in their head, or try to explain it away, because it's the more humane way to deal with it than to have to kill them.
He's the anarchist. He's the brains. He's the reluctant hero. This all sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
They couldn't convince these characters that they weren't super beings, so they had to kill them.
Right.
And I think some other criticisms are like, with James McAvoy's character, the Horde, they were being held in the room by just lights, and that there weren't a lot of guards.
But you are stuck in this room.
But if you think about it, this organization has done this probably so many times.
Right. It doesn't make sense while the movie's going on, but when you get to the end and it's revealed a secret, I mean, you could still say not too much.
Yeah, there should be more guards at a psych ward, I agree, but like I said, this is not the first time this organization has had a situation like this. They kind of know what they're doing. So
you could say it's like a cheap excuse, like, oh, well, there's a bad organization, that's the excuse of they should still have guards on them and stuff.
But it's so comic book.
See this? I'm one of Damaskino's familiars.
Really had that dark kind of comic book ending, and at the end it's reveal all the main characters, the girl from Split, the son, and Elijah's mom all get together and expose this information to the world that superheroes do exist, because the cameras around the psych ward were used to watch Elijah, but he reprogrammed them to film everything. He had live streamed the fight and everything that happened around the psych ward.
Yeah, because they tried to delete the footage to make sure this never got out. But Elijah thought one step ahead of everyone at every step.
In this organization, pretty much is going to be, it's up to the audience to be like, oh shit, did they get taken down or not? But
always underestimate the mastermind.
I'm really trying to find what's wrong with this movie, and it's really more nitpicks. I mean, M. Night Shyamalan has a cameo, and it's kind of really shoehorned in there, and you're like, oh, come on, man.
Like, and I hate it.
I understand there's people who are going to have their complaints about it, but really, I enjoyed it. It built up some pretty good suspense and stuff, some pretty good thrills. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's not a bad flick. It's got its deals. Sometimes I'm just like, oh man, okay, go here. Maybe don't focus too much on this. But it really goes away quickly because it entertains me again. I thought it was a pretty good follow-up to Split. Maybe not so much Unbreakable, because it's more of a continuation of Split and just old David Dunn kind of coming into the picture and kind of like, all right, let me see what I can do. It's not a bad flick, guys.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But yeah, I'm gonna give it a 4. I want to give it a 5 out of 5. Honestly, I loved this movie. I really, really liked it. There's some nitpicks, but I think this is a great conclusion. So I'm giving it a 5 out of 5. I really like this movie.
5 out of 5?
Yeah.
That's a really high score right
I
there.
know.
Man.
I love it. Okay, I've always liked Shyamalan. I love his movies. Yeah, he's had some bad ones. Avatar. But I really think this is a great conclusion to this series.
That was awesome.
I have no issues with it, other than a few nitpicks, but I'm not going to let that stand in the way. I mean, maybe 4.5, but
On a bad day.
On a bad day, but I just really liked this movie, so
Go give it a chance. It's really not bad. If you enjoyed Unbreakable, enjoyed Split, it's really not a bad conclusion to it. It's not a bad follow-up.
This movie knows what it is. It knows that it is a comic book movie.
Have you ever been to a comic book convention?
All right, now we're gonna switch over to a movie that wasn't as great as Glass. It was The Escape Room, and it is literally what it sounds like it's about. It's about the escape rooms and getting out, but this is a real dangerous escape room situation.
Yes, in this one, if you lose, you die, pretty much, obviously. They're adapting the escape room rooms that are being played in right now. Very popular, but adapted kind of like a Saw movie, I don't know.
Yeah, it's a PG-13 Saw, in a way.
Which really only works if, you're trying to get, kids to come see your horror movie, but really adults aren't going to get too much out of it because we've seen all this before.
Yeah, it's not gory, so I mean I like that factor. I like with Saw.
There's some.
Yeah, there's some gore, but it's an acceptable amount, I'd say, for a PG-13 movie for kids. So I guess this is the draw is for more the younger audience in this. I commemorate some of the rooms were pretty cool. Some were cliched and pretty obvious, and some of the choices were stupid. But there was some rooms that were really cool. This room, the upside down room, really great scene.
I agree.
Well, that's creepy as hell.
I think some of the rooms actually were pretty clever. There is one that you probably should watch out for. There's a really
strobing lights and
light kind of room, very bright, shocking if you're not expecting it either. So,
yeah.
Otherwise, I thought the movie was a little dull in the story because it really, like I said, it's been seen before, and you kind of know where it's going. They try to do some different things, especially with the ending, which was a big surprise for everybody. I don't think it really matched with everything else that was being told.
Yeah, that's my biggest issue with this movie is the ending. It could have stopped at a certain point, but it just kept going.
And to the point where it becomes really unrealistic, and it just tries to do something maybe more than it was going for, but it really just fails in the end.
Yeah. I felt like at the end I just wanted to escape the escape room.
Talk about immersive.
It had potential, but in the end, I think it's not the best. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5. It has some sort of rhythm at some points and stuff with the rooms, but the acting is not all the best, and it could have been, I don't know, something more, I think. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, I think I liked it just a little bit more than you. When I first initially saw it, I was really angry, but the more I've had time to think on it, I'm not as mad. There was a lot of cool things done with the camera and some of the rooms, like I said, so I give it a 3 out of 5. It's okay. Yeah, that's all I got. Just okay. So, the next...
The escape room, it's not worth it.
Yeah, maybe a $2 Black Friday buy on DVD.
Not you ought
It is mayhem! It is mayhem!
Jonathan, what have you done?
John Wick, excommunicado in effect in 3.
I am an FBI agent!
2.
1.
Vaya con Dios.
The next movie we're going to talk about is, what is it again? Oh yeah, Replicas. And it was changed again, but the movie was still awful.
It's a piece of shit.
But it's still, okay, it's mind-numbingly funny.
What the fuck, Kiana?
Yeah, it was bad.
What's wrong with you?
I think he's got John Wick coming out, so...
You that confident in that John Wick movie, man? Just make shit like this right now? Fuck, I'm mad.
Yeah, it's
What the hell's wrong with you, man?
Good movie at all.
The fuck? 1992 knock on the door?
Oh,
What the hell's wrong with you, dude? Look, what the hell, man? I know John Wick is making a lot of money for you right now, but this is shit. You're not acting here. You're just saying a bunch of crap. You're not even, you're not even saying science shit. You're just saying, we're gonna transfer this mind into the synthetic mind, and we're gonna do science shit. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm sorry.
You know,
I
you're
bet.
totally right, because that's this whole movie, the whole thing, what was I saying the entire time? This is not how science works, movie!
Everybody here acts robotic when they're even not. The wife acts like a robot. The children act like weirdos. What the hell is wrong with this movie?
It's so bad.
I mean, it's two movies in one. One minute you're transferring minds to synthetic minds because, you know, damaged bodies and all this crap, RoboCop crap. It's really trying to steal from other kind of movies and shit. The next minute you have a dead wife and children, and you want to clone them? Because why, the company does the same thing?
Because I love you.
Okay, man.
Like, then they start cloning, it turns into like a buddy thing. The guy from The Office gets involved. Ed from The Office, yeah.
This is Bill and Ed's cloning adventure.
This is ridiculous. I don't understand the choices here. I don't even understand where this came from. Who wanted this? This was some sort of passion project someone had, and Keanu was obligated to do it because he promised the guy.
Yeah, I think so. It's just I don't even know how to explain it. This movie is just so weird. It's awful. That's all I got to say. 1 out of 5.
1 out of 5.
Yeah. But on the upside, if you like really bad movies, you're gonna have a really great time with this. You gotta admit, it's kind of if you like a bad cheesy movie.
I'm dead.
John Wick 3 better be the shit, man.
Really
That's
better
all I gotta
be.
say. What the fuck?
Yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap this triple review. Stay tuned for more reviews and trailer reactions from us. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and of course here at YouTube. And as always, keep watching movies.
But not replicas.
It'll be like it never happened.
And fuck you motherfuckers.